Greetings and salutations, it's your boy Card. I just want to let you guys know that I have reopened up my Discord, and there's a link for that in the description bar down below. So for those of you who are interested in anything related to anime, K-pop, K-dramas, gaming, sports, whatever it is, including content creation, I have now reopened up my Discord, so you can check that in the description bar down below. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into today's video, which is about the grand rebrand. So we're gonna go ahead and go over to our favorite screen, which is full screen, so we can check out what exactly is going on and what is going down. So the main big thing, right, of course, you know, every day our revenue is going up. Once again, our goal is to get past $100 for the month of April. Of course, that relies in uploading a lot more videos. Recently I dropped a video talking about do subscribers matter, and in the context of when you've already hit the metrics for monetization, you know, subscribers tend to matter less and less. However, we're talking about brand deals, sponsorships. We're in that range of where the more subscribers you have, the better deals in, like, in terms of sponsorships, brand deals, and partnerships that you're able to negotiate, especially when people start to look at engagement. Now, I recently have started to refine my short strategy for this particular channel. And we're talking about going back to the overall presentation, making the shorts look, you know, good. From when someone goes to our shorts tab, you know, we want to make them look presentable, right? Like the thumbnails we want them to look nice, crisp, and clean, because when people think about anime content, they think about the vibrance, you know, for the most part. I mean, the last thumbnail I just did was more darker because it's a darker series in Gundam, but for the most part, at the end of the day, anime, it's all about having that vibrance, right? I also talked about how we were going to be combining and just basically taking away from other YouTubers out there. For instance, Sambuca, right? Or Bucha, right? We were utilizing his style that he does video content in, and basically asking like a lot of these entertaining questions. One of the video ideas that he had was, will people remember these celebrities in 100 or 1,000 years from now? And I basically took that idea that he had and formulated it for anime. And I asked the question, will people remember these animes 100 years from now? Now, you guys can probably see here that it has 23,000 views, and it is a minute-long video. I also did a style of video in the same way as him, where I asked, could you survive in these anime worlds? This one has 24,000 views. So I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from the algorithm when pertaining to these types of videos. Obviously, the thumbnails that we custom thumbnails that we do put for the videos, you know, Doron's World on YouTube is another channel. I should say, I'm not sure if they're the first, but they are the channel that I noticed, and I like their style of thumbnails the best when it comes to their YouTube shorts. And they're posting, like, you know, 1 to 2 videos, maybe even 3 a day, right? And I like the presentation, what they got going on. So I figured, hey, you know what, we go do the same thing, right? We want to just make it presentable. I also saw that they have anime takes and, you know, they're in all of their thumbnails, so I put a card anime, you know, just more branding at the end of the day, right? I like yellow. To me, pops more when it comes to our specific thumbnails themselves, so that's why we have, you know, yellow. And as you guys see, I even refined it. Like, I put like a little black stroke behind the yellow mark itself, and yellow does pop a lot more than red. It's a lot more easier on the eyes, right? Now, in the actual video itself, you know, I still have other things that we've taken from other content creators. So if we go to this video here, right? So we're talking about having captions in the videos. I even have at the very bottom here, which is something like this little progress bar, this retention bar. It's a retention hack at that. Like that progress bar at the bottom, there's another YouTuber that we saw was doing this, Ray William Johnson, right? So I started to incorporate all these types of things that we saw from other YouTubers into my own YouTube shorts. And now that I've seen positive feedback for this Sambucha style of video, you know, now my goal is to produce this type of video every single day. You know, like I gave it 2 shots. I wanted to see exactly how the feedback was going to be. And, you know, they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? We go into our YouTube analytics, and I go into my content section on the short side, and I go to the video, if I mean it has over 1,000 likes, and I go into the analytics, I see that, hey, all right, we got 7 subscribers. Right now we hit that flat line of YouTube, which listen, at the end of the day, we talked about this in videos in the past. Like, this is a sign that YouTube can show your video to the next audience, right? The audience that they've shown it to at the moment, pretty much the interest in the video right now, they're waiting to show it to the next audience. That's all this flat line means. A lot of people get hung up whenever they see this because they think that's pretty much gonna be the end of their video. And I know there's different things like YouTube jails and whatnot, but because YouTube Shorts is more of a marathon and not a sprint, like making sure that you're uploading consistently on YouTube Shorts is the way to go about it. And consistency looks different for a lot of people. On one channel, I have it being uploaded every single day. On this channel, if I miss a day, that's because I'm going to upload multiple times in a day. So I'm looking at batching the content, right? Now, here's another thing. This is 87% on the stay to watch. I've showed you guys other videos where the stay to watch, ratio was around almost 90%. And that was only from subscribers. This one is different. This one is 87% for the stay to watch, 46 seconds out of a minute for video, right? That's pretty high. And the audience is not subscribed. 95% not subscribed. So I have full confidence that this video is going to blow up in the future with 87% that stay to watch. Sure, the engaged views are just above 15,000, right? So I'm looking forward to see where this video is going to be at in the next week or so, especially because now we know that this style of video works and people are interested in this style of entertainment content when it comes to anime. So because people are interested in this style of content, this means that I can make a slight pivot in my commentary based content. It doesn't always have to possibly be about what is the most recent anime that dropped, as long as the topic that I'm talking about is just that much better, right? So I'm going to follow this up with a video that, will you remember these animes, right? I talked about I talked about 6 animes in the short itself. Now I could probably extend it to an 8-minute to a 10-minute long video where we're talking about different animes that I said survive, but different animes that people may or may not remember in the years to come. The funny thing about it is I pick all the animes that are going to be in the video. However, the video is positioned as if I don't know which anime is going to come next. Right, all the animes I do, they're all curated, right? Now here's the funny thing, right? Because some people caught on, right? And this is what I want to I throw in a lot of different things when it comes to these types of videos as well. Obviously, I made it so that the format is easy for me to recreate. So a lot of the the animes, say a One Piece, say a Dragon Ball. So I'll give you guys the perfect example of what I'm talking about, right? Now once again, these are the same type of videos in a way because they're in the Sambucha style, right? So this one is, could you survive in these anime worlds, right? And I have on the first video, or the first clip you see, is of an anime world that I don't even talk about in the video at all, but that's because I want the comments to talk about that. I want the comments to reference, hey, why didn't you talk about this anime? Why is it in your video? To me, that's good engagement, because then I can tell them, hey, well, that's going to be for a future video, so come back. Remember, return viewers at the end of the day is even more important than subscribers, right? So these are just the littlest things I could think about that might get somebody to return to one of my future videos, right? And even in this, I'll throw in caveats of stuff, and these are, obviously at the end of the day, these are all my real opinions about anime, but the video is just you don't know what anime is going to come next, so that's why you keep on watching to around that, I want to believe, to around that 46-minute mark, right? Because for a lot of people, that's when the final anime is introduced. Now maybe I can elongate this video even longer so I can talk about the final take in this video to see if a world, which anime world you could survive in. Maybe I could have elongated it all the way to 50 seconds, but this one's, once again, this was a trial run with the Sambucha style, with all the subtitles and trying to get everything correct. It takes me 3 minutes for me to actually film the video itself, like to get my thoughts, you know, spoken out correctly, and to maybe ad lib a couple of things and whatnot, and then in the editing process is where it takes a bit longer, because the editing process, we're talking about doing the subtitling, which I'm doing manually. We're talking about, I do it in Adobe Premiere Pro, and I showed you guys how to do that in past videos, but then we're talking about finding the clips for the specific anime I'm going to be talking about, whether I want it to be like one of the most flashier clips, because I believe, you know, the flashier things are, the more vibrant it looks, the better it comes across to a lot of people, especially because this video also doubles down as like an anime recommendation. So between these two styles, especially when I have like multiple animes and they overlap in the same video, all I do is just copy paste. You know, One Piece, it's the first thing I talk about in the video. One Piece is one of the most popular animes in the entire world. It's the same exact clip. There you go. One Piece in the very beginning. I talk about Dragon Ball next. Dragon Ball is the second clip, and it's the same exact clip. But then as I get, we get to more and more anime, then I can, you know, start to build a folder of these clips that are like around a minute or so long, and it's just, you know, plug and play, right? And that's what I'm doing, is building myself a library of when I talk about certain anime and have it in a folder, and whatever take I go along with, I have that same clip that could just go there and there. Very rarely am I going to be looking for an anime and not have it, you know, already off rip, right? So this saves me time in the future for when I want to search for certain clips. Like if it's a brand new anime, that's different. And then even at the very end of the video, right? Now, we know there is another subject in this world that's animated, but it's not truly anime, and it's like it begins with H, it ends with I, and rhymes with momentai, and it's hen. Don't quote this, Thai. So we already know, like, for the algorithm, because we don't want to get demonetized out here, that there's a very special type of spicy, you know, things that show other things, like, you know, that's uncensored, right? And this particular series, Overflow, is one of those spicy series, right? And so I thought it would be a funny joke to include this specific series that is, once again, very spicy, that is highly uncensored and does things for adults, right? And I thought it would be funny to include this in it, because those who know, right? And those who don't know, and those who don't know may go ahead and try to Google this, and they're going to find out something that's kind of crazy, right? And then they might come right back to this video to be like, bro, my man's really included something related to something that's not actually anime, right? So here we go. My man put HANTI on the list, Overflow, with laughing emojis. There you go. We're talking about engagement, right? Like, I like to have fun when I make these videos, and I thought that would be funny as well, right? Overflow will change your childhood, anime, and my religion. Like, you're gonna get a lot of people that talk about this. You got a comment that says this feels like an ad, right? But here's the thing, because there's so many different anime that's in this one, and then one that's actually not anime in it, there's a lot of different opinions and a lot of different engagement points that we could talk about. Even the style of the video itself, like, man said, bro, 100 years is way too much time, so I don't know, man. Like, I'll take that, right? Someone might be like, hey man, you didn't include this specific anime to talk about in this specific video, so your point is null and void. And I could be like, well, guess what? Naruto and Bleach, I could talk about them in a future video. The thing about this topic is I can do this topic to death, right? That's essentially what it's going to come down to. I can keep recycling this topic about, will these anime be remembered 100 years from now? And I can fit as much anime as I want into like a minute. And I know that there's literally thousands of anime out there in this world. So I can go part 1, part 2, part 3, give myself a series, you know, and I can time myself on getting to this between these different takes, plus make longer videos on top of this, right? So don't be surprised if one of the next longer videos that I post is going to be like, could you survive in these anime worlds? And I'm going to start timing myself to like truly give like each anime world like most likely like a minute or 2 minutes per take, right? So if it's 10 anime worlds, that's like a 20-minute long video, right, of me just going over these 10 different anime worlds, right? And then from that longer video, I have the short that I can use as related as a related short or a related video, and make even more videos around that. Then we're talking about, once I get to like say 20 takes, then I do another video where it's probably another 20 takes, and then another 20 takes, and then another 20 takes. So we get to like, I'm around like 100 different takes for an anime, and then I have will you survive these anime worlds, and it's an hour-long video that I just put together from like 5 different videos. And you know how many shorts that's gonna be, bro? Like that's at least around, all right, I'm already counting like 70, like no, I'm bugging out. I'm counting like let's see, is if my math is correct, and we're doing about 7 or so takes, it's gonna be around like 25 to like 20 to 30. It's between 20 to 30 shorts itself, from just covering around like 100, you know, different anime itself. So yeah, the more that we go along with this journey in this rebrand, the more I'm starting to realize, okay, what stuff does my crowd like, does my subscribers like? Especially because a lot of my videos right now are being watched primarily by my subscribers, right? So how much can I wow my subscribers so that the YouTube algorithm says, all right, cool, your subscribers like these videos, let's start promoting it to other people. And that also goes into like my long form strategy itself, where I'm still tinkering here and there with what videos may or may not be, you know, good for the algorithm. I still want to start to boost how much content I put out a day, but you know, we're taking our time. We're getting into our groove with it. You know, some videos perform better when they're reactions. Some videos perform better when they're just straight up commentary. You know, a lot of these videos here are just straight up commentary, and the grind is just real. Like it's like I said, it's plug and play, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. You know, certain video topics are not going to be perceived well. Like this has what, 10 likes, 10 dislikes. It's mainly because my co-host on this video had a very negative of opinion based off of the romance from Apothecary Diaries. However, like, yeah, we thrive on negativity. If people don't like it, I want them to start responding with it. Like my main thing is engagement, right? We talk about soul leveling. We didn't make it to the crowd, like we released the video the same day, but didn't bring it to the algorithm of people talking about soul leveling at that time, mainly because, you know, my audience for soul leveling was all tied towards the webtoon. So that's where we're gonna continue to push for. The new Devil May Cry anime, you know, I still haven't watched it yet. That's just me not doing my due diligence and setting aside time to check it out, because everyone and their mother is talking about the Devil May Cry anime and whether it's good or not. A lot of people believe it's trash, right? So I gotta watch it for myself. I gotta record the reaction content, post it onto our Patreon, and you know, start, you know, working that angle essentially, right? Because we're like, right now I'm trying to figure out where is the value that I can give for my audience on this channel. So while we're losing subscribers, mainly a lot of shorts viewers, I'm starting to get a lot more subscribers through the long form content and trading off subscribers with, you know, a different style of longer short form content. You know, usually, like I said, I still do reaction videos for the shorts, right? Because that's just, it's easy to put that out. Now it's like, all right, well, how many shorts I'm going to start to put out a day? I'm starting to upload these 1 minute, you know, YouTube shorts. Like everything is literally 1 minute, right? Because I want to increase the overall retention of the channel itself. So I know, you know, we talked about this beforehand, where it's like 25 seconds is really good, 38 to 40 seconds is really good. I want to break that barrier of having a short that is 1 minute long and hits 1 million views, right? That's what my mind frame is at right now. Because when I look at the other people in the space, once again, when we go to like Sambucha, right, I look at this and I'm just like, his shorts are literally like all 1 minute long, right? And a lot of these shorts are averaging, you know, well over millions and millions of views, and then he goes ahead and makes a long form video. So I would love to be in the position where maybe I'm making a long form video a day still, but my shorts are performing extremely well. I'm looking at doing more live content in the near future. Like right now, unfortunately, in my apartment, we have shitty internet. In the temporary apartment. So once I move back to my apartment within the next month before I go to Japan, I'm going to be doing live content, and I might be doing live content like every single day, and it's literally just talking about anime and doing anime takes. Like if I watch all these animes in a day, then I'm gonna essentially, you know, make the reaction content, then go live and talk about these different animes, or just bring a subject that I want to do. You know, tier lists, like there's a lot of people have anime tier lists, right? People care about these things in this community, right? And there's certain different tier lists that we can do. Like, you know, Doron's World did a tier list, and it's a well edited video of 38 minutes and 18k views, right? Because he's starting to break more into long form content. So a lot of people love anime tier lists, they hate anime tier lists at the same time, but they just care about what the person is saying and if it's of value. Because if people click on your video and you're getting this many views, especially in the anime community, that means people care about your opinion, and they are going to either be for it or against it, and you're done your job, okay, by getting people to click your video and getting people to comment on your video itself. So that's all I want to say for this particular video. As you guys notice, I'm not doing as much grand rebrand videos, you know, like the every single day thing as we were doing at the start of this whole challenge, because I want to, you know, start to, I guess, highlight things where things are going either really, really well or things are going either really, really wrong. And unless there's a major change right now, then I won't be doing that. Like I thought in the beginning, it did sound good to like make a video every single day, but I'm a person that I actually just hate repetitiveness. It's kind of a reason why I felt like, you know, beforehand when I was making videos on this particular channel, that was like, it was sounding like really repetitive, and I don't want that to be like a thing. So that's why I'm just like, all right, let me try to find something else to talk about, which is why I'm going to be making more videos that's just about, well, more videos about business in general, right? There's, if I look at my homepage, right, I tend to navigate, of course, towards sports and anime, right? But there's other YouTubers out here like Nate Black. That's like, I get worried for your channel if I see this and it's a channel roast. I just hit 100k a month. Here are 6 lessons you can learn from. So a lot of these financial YouTubers or YouTubers that have like different thoughts about how to grow or like financially, is, you know, Gary V, The Secret to Building Wealth, how to attract, you know, high ticket clients and stuff like that. These are all things in the business niche / like financial niche that I watch, like, you know, pretty much every day, or every night, I should say, when I'm working on my novel in the background, like Diary of a CEO. Like I watch a lot of their content, and a lot of these other podcasts where they're bringing on a lot of these different types of entrepreneurs that have been blowing up. And, you know, that's why I've transitioned away from just only talking about, you know, YouTube in the beginning, or I want to transition away from only talking about YouTube in the beginning, because a lot of people here, you know, they want to make YouTube their career, but that's just the beginning point. As we all know, you know, you want to start to build outside of YouTube and start to build income outside of YouTube. But I feel like YouTube is like the crux to begin with. You know, everyone here who's subscribed to this channel, there's like, whether you have 1 subscriber or 1 million subscribers, you know, we're all trying to make a living, you know, for the most part, off of YouTube and what it can do for us in the different fields itself. So whether you're automation, you're doing anime content, you're doing, you know, music content, you're doing sports content, shouts to all the subscribers that have been making basketball content. I've been checking it out, don't worry. But yeah, there's different types of content that we're all making, and this is one of the fields that I like to say that we're all trying to grow somewhere. So that's one of the bigger pivots that I'm going to be working on. So that's all I want to say for this video. much longer than I intended it to be, because you know we like to yap, and I try to take advantage of the yapping that we do, or trying to, you know, further that in the different fields. So folks, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the grand rebrand, and I like to see everybody. I like to tell you guys also that we have Discord. I know it's very late in the video, so for those of you that made it, yes, we do have Discord. It is in the description bar down below, and I also will say it at the very beginning of this video because it's one I will edit again. So also thank you guys for letting me know about my audio issues. With that said, I'll catch you guys for the next video. Doses.